Spurge here, and in this video we're going to discuss the REV'IT kick shoes. So what you're going to see is the full grain leather construction is going to really kind of set this shoe apart from others in this $200 price point. What I like about leather, especially in a shoe, is it does break in a little bit, so it kind of has a bit of forgiveness with the sizing. Now this is going to be a suede leather throughout, and it's an oiled and waxed suede. Really kind of a rough hand to it, so a bit more of a textured feel than you would typically expect with the suede leather. A little bit of synthetic material up at the top around the cuff on this, but really the too long didn't read is that for the $200 price point, you're getting full leather construction in a lifestyle-oriented riding shoe from REV'IT. So this is really going to be aimed at people looking at, I would say, 2 to 3 season functionality. There's not really a lot of perforation with this, so just keep in mind in the hottest months of the year, it might run a little bit hot, but if I'm thinking about this riding shoe, I'm thinking spring and fall and being able to push it into the warmer months of the year, depending on where you reside. And then if we're talking about, you know, from a sizing and from a fitment standpoint with this, sizes will range from a 39 to a 47 with European sizes. It fits true to size. So we actually work with REV'IT to revise their sizing chart for this a little bit, but using the new sizing chart, you should have no surprises there. There are 2 different colors available. You're gonna see that I have the kind of like a dark army green in my hand with, you can kind of see some of the specs and the flex throughout the rubberized sole on this. And then there's also going to be a black version. Both versions come with 2 different color laces. The green version comes with a black lace already laced up, and then there's kind of like a distressed black, almost a brown colored lace included there. And then the black version comes with a black lace, and then we've also just gone ahead and installed the distressed white that comes with this. You can see I've got the other black one over here. That's what it looks like if you're looking at it with just the black laces on. So that kind of gets that out of the way. Really, as we're talking about the construction on this and we're getting into the shoe a little bit, this is going to be, again, for the price point, you're getting that full leather construction here. It's an oiled and waxed suede leather. Like I said, it's got a brushed feel, brushed hand to it, a little bit rough to the touch. Over on the outside, you're getting that little REV'IT logo down there. This is, again, is a synthetic material, so that's one of the only areas on the shoe that's not full leather. And then you are getting just some protection in the ankles. It doesn't even feel like it at first as you're playing around with this because it's done with their SEESOFT. That's kind of their proprietary armor and impact protection. Now, the nitpick that I have here is that while you do get a little bit of reinforcement at the heel, you are getting that protection at the ankle. There's no real reinforcement to the toe box on this, and this is a trend that we're seeing with a couple of different manufacturers with their riding shoes. And frankly, I think a little bit of toe protection is going to be warranted. And also, the other thing to note here is that on the left shoe, there is no little shifter panel. So, you know, as you're thinking about using these, you are shifting. You know, you're shifting up through the gears. Eventually, you're going to kind of, you know, see that distress wear in pretty easily with the left shoe because there is no kind of a shift protector over top there. So just some things to note. I would love to see REV'IT incorporate some toe protection to this and then maybe just a little bit of a shift panel over on the left shoe specifically. Now, as we get into the sole, this is going to be a thermo molded rubber sole, about a 4 out of 10. On the rigidity scale. You are going to get a reinforced shank in here, which is what's going to set it apart, make it more of that crush-proof design if you are in a motorcycle crash. However, from just walking around and just, you know, using this, it's going to be relatively slip-proof and it's going to be comfortable for you that you can put this on in the morning, you can ride to work, you can wear this all day, you can ride home, and you're not feeling like you're wearing a big, bulky motorcycle boot. That's really the advantage of what we're seeing with riding shoes. Now, the one note here is whenever you're using a laced shoe or a laced sneaker on a motorcycle, you always run the risk of having the laces get caught up in moving pieces. I love it when you see some of the manufacturers kind of have like a lace pullover or somewhere to stuff and hide the laces down. REV'IT doesn't have that. I would have loved to have seen that included in this particular riding shoe. Is just some kind of a stylized piece to hold the leather or the laces into place. The only recommendation that I would throw out is that if you are using a lace-up shoe, make sure that you're double knotting and make sure you're trying to stuff those laces down into the shoe itself, just so you don't have to worry about that coming out. 3D foam on the inside just helps to promote, a little bit of sweat wicking. Like I said, there's no real perforation with this particular shoe, but the 3D foam on the inside does add to the comfort of this as you work yourself into the warmer months of the year. So for those of you out there considering a riding shoe, the real win that I think that REV'IT has with their kick shoes is for around that $200 price point, you are getting that full suede leather design. Really great hand to this. And great style. Some of the misses, I would love to have seen some reinforcement in the toe, shift panel over on the left shoe, and then something just kind of, stylized. REV'IT's been great with their style. I'm sure they could come up with something that looks stylish, that holds these laces in place a little bit better. But if you want more information on the REV'IT kick shoes, you want to hear what other riders have to say, you can always head over, click that little info button on your desktop or mobile device, take you over to the product page. You can read other rider reviews from folks that are putting the kick shoes through their paces. And if you're not sure as to what riding shoes are right for you and your style, you can always reach out to one of our customer service reps and they can walk you through the different riding shoes available to find the right shoe for your riding style as well as your budget. I want to thank you for joining us for this look at the REV'IT kick shoes. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.